Influencer created makeup lines. You either love them or you hate them. For me personally, all I care about is whether it's good or not. So let's dig into that right now. Hello, my friends. Today we are going to be digging deep. And I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the Dominique Cosmetics Latte Palette. This brand was created by Christen Dominique, who is an Instagrammer, a YouTuber, a person on the internet, an influencer who has created her own makeup line. She actually just recently announced that she's coming out with a second palette called the Lemonade Palette. It looks super, super cute from the outer packaging. I personally have not seen the inside of it yet, but today we're going to be talking about her first launch, which is the Latte Palette. There are skip ahead buttons down below. If you've never been to one of my review videos before, they are quite long, so feel free to use those skip ahead buttons to get to the parts that you are really interested in. Don't go in those comments and tell me that I'm wasting your time with a long video, and make it easy for you. If you want to skip, feel free. But I will tell you, according to my analytics, the majority of my viewers do watch almost the entire video of my videos because they're stinking awesome. So let's go ahead and get into that info. As you can see, I have no makeup on because today we're going to be doing the very first look from this palette that's coming up. Skipping ahead down below if you'd like to go straight to that. So first thing I know people are curious about is if this is cruelty free. They do have the PETA bunny on the back of the product, and it is made in the United States. A lot of the less expensive eyeshadow palettes that are coming out recently are made in China. This one is made in the United States. It is $42 US. My shipping cost for this is $6.90, leading to a total of $48.90 for this palette. There are 10 eyeshadows in this palette. They are 1.8 grams each, according to the back of the palette, which is a decent size for an eyeshadow. I really like to see over a gram. There are brands like Anastasia and Lorac that give less than 1 gram per shadow. This is 1.8, so almost 2 full grams. If you don't count the shipping, the cost on this is $2.33 per gram. If you do count the shipping, it's $2.72 per gram. Either way, it is a good value compared to Sephora priced brands such as Too Faced. It is less expensive than the typical Urban Decay palette. So in my opinion, Christen Dominique is not trying to run away with your money without giving you enough product. But of course, that only matters if you plan on hitting pan on this product. What's really going to matter, I think, to the majority of people is the quality of the shadows, which we're going to get into. Let's talk about what Christen Dominique says about this palette. It includes 5 warm tone neutral shades. The Latte palette is designed to work for all skin tones, eye colors, and makeup artistry skills. There's 10 color shadows, 5 warm tone neutrals, which is kind of an interesting way to word that, 2 fun pops of color, and 3 foils for any day to night look. There's 5 transitional colors that can be used all over the lid or worked into the crease, 3 gorgeous foil shimmer shades that can be used all over the eye, in the inner corners, or as a halo, and 2 pops of color that can make any eye color stand out. She says they're super blendable. You can create soft looks, buildable to an intense payoff that is long lasting and luxurious. You get a beautiful mirror in here. I really love the packaging here as far as the design. I think it looks clean. It looks very luxe as far as the design of it. It's very pretty. The packaging, however, is cardboard, so you're not getting like a luxe packaging, like a Pat McGrath packaging, but you're not paying nearly as much as you would for a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. I expect cardboard packaging at this price point, but it does look really pretty. I love the colors that she used, and it just looks very sleek and clean to me. I also love that she's got the DC imprinted in each shadow. I think it just takes it that extra level of pretty. The eyeshadows are named after coffee type things: hazelnut, caramel, vanilla cream, mocha, pumpkin spice, espresso, macchiato, creme brulee, cold brew, and double shot. Now let's go ahead and get a little bit into the ingredients as far as what you need to be aware of. Put my glasses on so I can see a little bit better. So this is a talc-based product. So if you are allergic to talc, if you're sensitive to talc, you definitely want to stay away from this. Mica is listed, but it's not listed until the may contain section. I would not count on this to be lip safe because they do list ultramarines in here as an ingredient, which is not a lip safe ingredient. And then carmine is in here, so this is not a vegan product. Carmine is made from crushed bugs. They boil them and they squeeze the juice out of them, and that's how you get the red pigment carmine. So yeah, if you're vegan, or if that just grosses you out, then you don't want to use this. You can always contact Dominique Cosmetics. I'm sure that they would be able to tell you which shades use carmine and which don't, if that matters to you. Carmine is used in many makeup products, many eyeshadow palettes, many lip products, so it's not an area of concern unless that grosses you out, but you may want to go through your collection because carmine's in a lot of stuff. I mean, really looking at the ingredient deck, it's a very typical eyeshadow ingredient deck. It's just mixed in different order than what I have seen in other eyeshadow palettes, but the eyeshadow ingredients are not shocking. There's no parabens in here. They do have phenoxyethanol as the preservative in here. There is no bismuth oxychloride in here. That's an ingredient that has been brought to my attention recently that is irritating to people with sensitive skin. It's because of the microcrystalline structure of the molecule or whatever. It can irritate the skin, so that is not in this palette. So what I decided to do is we're gonna do something a little bit differently because I feel like it would be valuable to you. We're gonna do 3 different looks for this video. The first one is going to be a more wearable, more natural look. The second one is gonna be a little more creative, a little more wild, a little more color. And the third look is going to be a dupe look. So we're gonna do hopefully as much drugstore product as I can find and see how the Dominique Cosmetics LATTE palette measures up against eyeshadows of other brands. And I'm really excited about that. I haven't quite found the dupes yet, so I'm just kind of hoping that I find the dupes. I think I'm gonna be able to find dupes in my collection for this palette, so we'll dupe it up for look 3. But let's go ahead and zoom in and get started on look 1, which is going to be the more natural wearable look. So I figured since the doing someone's eyeshadow tutorial video is so popular right now, and because Christen Dominique provided tutorials on her website and on her channel for this palette, I figured we would just follow one of those and see if I can get my eye look to look like hers. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous look, so we're gonna go ahead and try it. For look number 1, I always like to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion because this has been the most reliable eyeshadow primer for me personally. And we'll switch it up for looks 2 and 3. The first step is to apply vanilla cream all over the lid, all the way up to the brow bone. Now, I don't know if this would work as far as the application for someone with a deeper skin tone. She is more of a medium skin tone than I am, but I do think this is going to work for me. We will see. The next thing that she does is she uses this caramel shade and she puts that up into her crease. I have to say there's very little fallout coming from the shadow. I just kind of dug my brush and I spun it in there, and there's just a little bit of kickback, but not a lot. I'm going to switch to a little bit more of a detailed brush because she says to keep the shade Pumpkin Spice from the center to the corner of the brow. So I actually haven't used this shadow yet. I've worn this palette I think 3 or 4 times, but I haven't used Pumpkin Spice yet, so I'm excited to use it. I have to say they're blending really nicely. And now she's blending, but she doesn't want to go to the inner corner, so let's do that. This is where I kind of wish that she had zoomed in and gone a little bit slower. Maybe it's just my skill level, but she's using hazelnut and she's using it for the outer V, so we're gonna try it and see how it goes. She's using a bigger brush. I would think to use a smaller brush for this, but I'm trusting that she knows better than I do. Okay, she's bringing it out. Ooh, I am not a professional, and I think it's showing right now. I should have just gone with my gut and used a smaller brush. And she's blending. Let us blend. My brushes are so dirty. This one's gross looking. I don't have a brush like the one that she's using because I don't have hardly any Morphe brushes. We're gonna go into Mocha and swirl this in the outer corner. She's just kind of going in a circle. I'm making the eyeshadow application face. Okay, she's going a little more up in the crease than I did, so let's go up a little more. Now as she's talking, she's blending. So let us blend. Maybe this is why my eyeshadow looks don't come out as good as some of these pros. I don't usually spend this much time blending, because I feel like it's gonna muddy them all together, but it's not. I feel like I've got like some weirdness happening over here, but I'm assuming I'm gonna be covering that up. But they definitely don't match completely on both sides. A little bit more of that brown right there. I don't know. This woman is still blending, like 10 minutes later, she's still blending. I'm convinced that this is why my eye looks never turn out great, is because I blend for like 2 seconds. I think she's putting on more product, but she's not explaining that. Come on, Christen, give me more, give me more. All right, I'm gonna pack just a little bit more right there because she's really dark right there. Now she just said that there's an ingredient in here that's made from crushed pearls. I'm gonna have to look at the ingredient list and try to figure out what the world that is. Okay, it looks like she's working this in the inner corner with a brush. Now I would normally apply this with my fingertips because I personally prefer that. I feel like it comes out more pigmented with shadows that are shimmery and foiled, but she's using a brush, so I'm gonna use a brush. How are we looking so far? Okay, bring it down to the inner corner. All right, Christen, let's do it. She says a winged liner brush. I couldn't really see what she was talking about, but it kind of looks like an angled liner brush. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. She sprays it with some Fix Plus, and then I can't find my Fix Plus, so we're just gonna use the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. And then she uses Macchiato as a liner, a mocha, not macchiato, mocha, as a winged liner. I honestly don't think this is gonna be intense enough to get past this. I think it's just gonna blend in. Maybe I just need more of this. Or maybe the Fix Plus is just better. I don't know. I've really got it wet now. Okay. I think my brush just wasn't wet enough. Now I have setting spray on my mirror. Fabulous! Because I did do this a little bit differently than I normally do. Normally I would put the product on my brush and then spray it, but because she sprayed her brush first, I trusted in that. I do have a little bit of darkening of the product there, so I'm hoping I didn't just create hard pan and damage my product there. I will let you know. Because I'm just going to the grocery store today and picking up my kids from the bus stop, things like that, we're not gonna do a full face, but I am gonna put on lashes, and she put on lashes, but we're gonna do like some more natural lashes. This is the House of Lashes lash glue that I picked up when I was recently in New York City at Ricky's NYC. Oh my gosh, this is the most amazing lash glue of all time. I asked the women who work there, you know, what's the deal with it, because I needed some lash glue, and they were like, yeah, it's the best. And I completely agree, and I'm so glad that I got it. Looks a little odd without mascara on. This isn't my normal routine. Normally I would put mascara on, a liner, then mascara, then lashes. So we're going in a different order today. We're trying something new. Now looking at her closely, it looks like somehow she has mascara on. I must have missed that step, or she just has really dark lashes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of mascara to try to blend this in a little bit. So she is baking under her eyes. I do not do that because I feel like it brings out the creases underneath my eye. So we're gonna skip that, and we're just gonna go straight into the eyeshadow. She used caramel, and she just kind of fluffed it under her lash line. I do have a little bit of fallout, so if I did do that whole baking with the powder and then fluffing it off thing, I probably wouldn't have that. I can kind of see how she's putting it on. Oh, that is really pretty. That is really, really pretty. And she's just blending just a little bit more. And she very quickly applies some mascara to the lower lash line. Her eye look looks almost black. I don't know what's happening there. Mine doesn't look as black as hers, but we'll just keep going. Okay, she's bronzing with this shade. Now, I don't have any foundation or anything on, but you know what the heck? Oh gosh, I don't like that. I don't like it. What? No, brown forehead, no. Okay, abort mission. We're not gonna do the brown forehead. No, maybe we'll use a little blush though. We'll do a little bit here. I don't think I would pick this as a blush, but I don't think she's using it as a blush, but you know, we figure might as well try it, right? She says to use this for multi-purpose, so let's go into the brows with Mocha. Hopefully it's dark enough, we'll see. It's a little bit light, but we're gonna make it work. I'm just gonna spray a little bit of the Mist and Fix on here and see if I can deepen up Mocha a little bit for like the center to the outside of my brows. And that is working. Cool, man. So let's go ahead and zoom in on how the look looks right now. Definitely not as beautiful as Christen made it, but this is where we're at, and we are in reality right now, and the reality is this is as good as it gets. I did not have time to start this until later because I was doing other stuff for videos, but it is currently 2:19 in the afternoon, so we'll be back tonight to see how this wore, and yeah, and then that'll be the end of day one. So we will be back tonight to see how this eye look is and compare it to how it looks right now, so it'll be about 8 hours. See you in a second. It has been 8 hours since I put on my makeup. Did you see it? Yep. And actually it looks really good. I will tell you before I zoom in that I think my eyelashes are having performance anxiety because I swear this is like the best lash glue I have ever used, and it is so letting me down right now, but I don't want to give you a false impression, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like with my lashes falling off, and then I'm just going to take my lashes off so you can see without the lashes on. Of course, the day that I film is the day that my lash glue isn't working the way I want them to, so let me just pull these off real quick so you can see the look, but definitely keep in mind with wherever the lash glue was, that probably pulled the shadow off, so that's not the shadow's fault. Let me show you. I mean, as you can see, it really does still look pretty good for 8 hours. I do feel like the macchiato shade has faded a little bit. It's been 8 hours, so I would expect it to fade some. But overall, I feel like the eye look looks pretty good. We do have a little bit of transferring of the shimmer, but again, I'm not hating on that. I feel like this is a decent wear time. I don't have any weird, like massive amounts of fallout. I do have some fallout, some glitter, but it's not bad. So that makes me happy. I don't know what is happening over here. We'll just scrape that off. I don't know what that was. The lower lash line still looks pretty decent considering this has been on all day. Okay, so day one has been completed. It was successful other than the unrelated issue of my lash glue. We're gonna go ahead and move on to day two. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I did put on this necklace. I just got this off of HoLook and I was too excited and I had to wear it. It's my new Gemini necklace and I love it. But anyway, see you tomorrow, in 2 seconds, tomorrow, right now. All right, welcome to day two of the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. I have a baby shower today, but I also need to film, so the people at the baby shower are just gonna have to deal with my crazy eyes. So I decided to change the concept a little bit. Yesterday I told you that we were gonna do like a wearable look and then a more bold look and then a dupe look. Well, I'm gonna change the way that is. I'm gonna do one look that is within my comfort zone, which is the one that you saw yesterday, and now I'm gonna do one that is out of my comfort zone. I really feel like I need to stretch my skills. Today is out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna do a halo eye, and halo eye eyes is something that I have struggled with for a long time. And you can feel free to leave your suggestions down in the comments, constructive criticism in a good way, not in a mean way. But I'm always up for learning more. I'm not a makeup artist, but I do enjoy having fun with makeup, and I want to stretch my skills a little bit. And we're gonna do a full face because I got places to go where I actually have to like have a full face on today. So I guess we should just go ahead and get started. I'm a little bit nervous, I have to tell you. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're getting into it right now. Let me zoom you in.
Keep on searching for the heart I cannot find. No matter how long I'm going, I feel there's only one I'm like. So maybe I'll keep on pushing myself back into the light. Cause I need her love, I need all her love. We had a river that was rolling, but then the waves came crashing down. And maybe I was too controlling, but I was nearly about to drown. Well, come on, forgive me, baby, cause I need you now. I need all your love, I need all your love. Come back, I need you like before. If I come, will you let me through the door? Who knows if I make it work for sure? But I found, yes I found, you are the cure. Yes I found, you are the cure. I keep on fighting for this love I'm falling for. No matter how long I'm going, I feel I'll get you like before. So maybe I'll love her out like the way that she loved mine. Cause I need her love, I need all her love. Come back, I need you like before. If I come, will you let me through the door? Who knows if I make it work for sure? But I found, yes I found, you are the cure. Yes I found, you are the cure. I know that you see it too, the effect you have on me. I know you still feel it too, all the constant memories. So tell me this isn't true. You and I were meant to be. I'll never do wrong to you, cause now I know just what you need. So come back, I need you like before. If I come, will you just let me through the door? Who knows if we'll make it work for sure? But I found, yes I found, there's no other. Felt so right. I hope you can one day see how much you meant to me, and how I loved you so, and how I'll never let you go.
All right, so this is the final look. People are probably gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy at this baby shower. I had all intentions of putting on fake lashes, but I just can't do it. Nobody's gonna be there in full glam, and I can't pull the trigger on the lashes. I just can't do it. So we're gonna just go with Bad Gal Bang and just... All right, so it is currently 9:29 in the morning. It is perfect timing for us to get going. I've got a 2-hour drive ahead of us, and then a few hours at the party, and then 2 hours drive back. I will be back to check in on this look when we get back. Since it's so early, we might be able to do 2 check-ins. So yeah, wish me luck. I'll see you in a little bit. Never mind, changed my mind. I just went downstairs and I looked at the footage and I looked at the way I looked without lashes and I was like, no, lashes need to happen. It is what it is. Their family, if they don't accept me for this, then oh well, that's just the way that it is. So yeah, let me go ahead and zoom in the eyes with lashes just so you can see. These are Cocoa lashes, and if I can figure out what style they are, I will put them down below. This is like the 4th time I've worn them, so the box is like long gone. I found out these from Raw Beauty Christian. They're amazing. And then I tried the House of Lashes lash glue that seems to be working better today than it did yesterday. So yeah, so we will see how this lasts. That's it, I'm done. See you in a bit. Hello, my friend. I'm back. For me, it's been about 8 hours. A lot of sitting in the car and then sitting at the baby shower and then sitting on the way home, and now I'm gonna sit and edit. But before I go do that, I wanted to show you the 8-hour check-in on the eyes so you can see how it looks, because this I feel is like a typical work/school day. So let's go ahead and zoom it in. So for me, the big things that I see is that the green has faded some up into the crease and there's some transferring of that shimmer shade. What's that thing called? That was called Creme Brulee. I feel like I can still look at myself and go, okay, I can do something with this eye. Like, I'm still cool with it. Like, I'm not hating on it. And it's been 8 hours. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna see if we can take this into the evening, and I will check back with you after my kids go to bed. It's 5:30. In about 5 more hours, we'll come back and check in. So let's close the eyes one more time. And yeah, we'll see you in 5 hours. It has been a very long day. It has been 13 hours since I put this eyeshadow on, and actually it doesn't look horrible. Usually by 13 hours with a mediocre eyeshadow palette, you can't even see the original eye look. It's just all mushed together. Right now, you can still see the original eye look. It's definitely significantly faded, but let me just zoom you in. I'll show you. Okay, so let me go ahead and close my eyes so you can see. I mean, 13 hours, I just don't expect it to look good anymore. But have I had eyeshadow palettes that still look good at 13 hours? Yes, I have. For example, Colored Rain eyeshadow palettes, the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette, for some reason, still looks really good at 13 hours. This one is definitely faded. Yeah, let me just close for you one more time. I don't know about you, but I am excited for tomorrow's dupe look. I had some good stuff from the drugstore that we're gonna be duping with this palette. Super excited, hang tight, it's coming right now. All right, we are back, finally, for the last look in the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette review. Oh my goodness, so I didn't realize it was going to be a while before I came back to try this palette one more time for you. I got stuck in Halo Beauty Land, but now we are back and we're going to try this one more time. So today is the dupe palette look. So I have got my Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, and we are going to use products out of the Profusion eyeshadow palettes. I had to dip into 2 of them. This is the Profusion Sultry palette. We're going to take some shades from here. We're also going to take some shades from the Profusion Amber Eyes palette, which is right here. So that is going to be on one eye, and the Dominique Cosmetics palette is going to be on the other eye. Now, these do not dupe out perfectly, especially with the Dominique Cosmetics, the more colorful ones, the Cold Brew and Double Shot. There is a green and a purple kind of like this, but they are not matte. They are shimmer shades. You can kind of see them here. This shade right here, Lagoon, is kind of, sort of, kind of close, and Bewitched is not really close at all. Bewitched is much darker than the one in the Dominique Cosmetics palette, but if you wanted to do something purpley, you could probably pull it off with that, but some of the other shades are really, really close. So let me just show you those real quick, and I'm just going to put them on my fingers next to each other. These are not exact dupes. I'm just letting you know right now. They're not exact dupes, but you could get very similar looks. Okay, so we have Hazelnut and then this shade Zing. And that's those 2 right there. So this is Hazelnut, this is Zing. Switching over to the other one, we've got Caramel and Outgoing. And that's those right there. Ideal is actually in both of these palettes, and it actually isn't even close to being a dupe, but it's the closest thing that I can get in these two palettes, and I don't want to go over to another brand. I want to stick with the same brand. So this is Vanilla Cream, and this is Ideal. Okay, now we're moving on to Mocha and Cozy. These aren't great dupes, but they'll serve the same purpose. The pointer finger is Pumpkin Spice, and then the ring finger is Fearless. Moving down to these shimmery guys down here, we have Espresso, and there's no shimmers. Well, the shimmers in here are not shimmery enough. They're not even close to what we've got in the Dominique Cosmetics palette. So we're gonna switch back over to the Sultry palette, and we're gonna go to the shade Caring, which is this guy over here. Okay, next up Macchiato, and the shade Awake, which is this guy over here. And Creme Brulee and Three Wishes. Okay, now these, of course, are the ones that I said they're not dupes, but you might be able to use them for a similar purpose, but it's the closest we're gonna get her today. So we're gonna do Cold Brew and Lagoon. And then these are definitely not dupes, but as close as I got, Double Shot and Bewitched. They're not even close to being dupes. We could do the other one. I can show you Nimble too. Let me wipe off Bewitched, and we'll do Nimble instead, which is the one that's a little closer to a matte, but it's still way darker. And there isn't anything close in the other palette. So that's really the only one that you just can't dupe with these palettes. So we won't be using that one today. I think we should do one without the bright colors and kind of focus on these guys over here, because I feel like that's where the stronger dupes are. And I'm just gonna do a typical cat eye. I'm not gonna do anything fancy or magical, and it's gonna be another one of those music ones so that we can get this party rolling here. So we're gonna use the Ulta Eye Primer in Nude Matte for this. I hate the word nude for a champagne-y kind of color. It drives me bonkers. Not everybody is that color when they're nude. Regardless, it's a very nice primer, so we're gonna use that. I think it's about 10 or 12 bucks at Ulta. I'm a little caught up. I'm a little shaken. What's wrong?
Can I say no to you? Where do you go when I see you dreaming? I'm a little caught up, I'm a little shaken. You are that someone I could make a mistake with. Okay, bye. I love you across the room. I heard you. Oh, tell him I'm a little caught up, I'm a little shaken. You are that someone I could make a mistake with. All of my chances, oh yes, I'll take them. And I'm dizzy, spinning from the feeling.
Okay, so just some initial first impressions from putting those on next to each other. I've never used them side by side before, and just some first impressions. I do feel like the matte shades from the Profusion palette went on more intense and more pigmented, where the Dominique Cosmetics one, it was more buildable. Now with the shimmer shades, I do feel like the Dominique Cosmetics one packs a bigger punch. It was kind of like bam on your face. I also had a little bit more fallout with the Dominique Cosmetics one. Those shadows are so incredible incredibly soft. The texture is just so much softer than the Profusion. But I do feel like I got similar looks on both eyes, but I do feel like there's more separation of color with the Dominique Cosmetics one already. Just from, you know, looking in the mirror, you might be able to tell with like a zoom in better than I can. But I just feel like that the Dominique Cosmetics one just looks more punchy, you know, it's more in your face, where the Profusion one is a little more muted. So that being said, let's go ahead. It is now 4:14. It is so incredibly late. If I can get my phone to stay on, I was working on the Tati Halo Beauty Vitamin video. I was trying to get that up today, and my kids had an early dismissal because of ice. We're about to get a big, huge snowstorm. So I got started with doing this video really, really late just because I was working on editing and uploading and Makeup Minute and all that early this morning. So anyway, enough excuses. We're going to be back in 8 hours. So that's what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After midnight, we gon' let it all hang down. Sometimes, even if you're not the best singer, you should just sing because it brings joy to the heart. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, so we will be back a little bit after midnight and see how this eyeshadow wore through the day. I'm just staying in the house all day. I'm cooking dinner. I was going to go out to the grocery store, but that is not going to happen in the sleeting, icy rain nastiness. So we'll be back after the sun goes down. Hopefully we can get some comparable lighting. I'll do my best. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when my eyeshadow starts to fade. Oh no, I left my phone downstairs. Oh my gosh. Okay, I left my phone downstairs. I'm tired. I can't even. It's about 12:45 in the morning. So it has been 8.5 hours since I put this eyeshadow look on, and I just looked at the footage of this eye look. This look was rough, dude. This look was rough. This is definitely not my favorite eye look I've ever created, I'll tell you that. But it'll serve the purpose. The purpose of this is not to create an impeccable eye look that everybody's gonna go, wow. The purpose of this look is what we're doing right now is deciding whether the drugstore priced palette is the same quality as the more expensive palette. So let's take a look. All right, I'm gonna close my eyes. Remember, this side is the Profusion, this side is Dominique Cosmetics. So yeah, I don't think there's much of a comparison, to be honest with you. The shimmer on the Profusion side has significantly faded. I mean, you can't deny that. There is a lot more fallout on the Dominique Cosmetics side, but I think some of that is from the initial application. I think that a lot of that was there because I forgot to wipe it off. I honestly forgot. So just be careful, make sure you tap off your brush, wipe off any excess. I'm sorry that I can't report on the fallout through the day. I do apologize for that. That's a fail on my part. But yeah, I think Dominique Cosmetics definitely beats Profusion in this. The shadows initially were much more bold, and they've remained bold where the Profusion has faded. And if you look and see, the colors have completely muddied together on the Profusion side, where the Dominique Cosmetics side is, you know, you can still see separation of color. Even up into the crease, you can see that this part is deeper than over here. And yeah, it still looks pretty decent. We do still have that transferring of the foiled shade up onto the brow bone though. So let's zoom out and kind of just talk about what's happened in these 3 wear tests, because we need to touch on that part. That needs to be touched on. But I have a solution for you. Hang tight. Hold on. Let me just zoom you out. Hello, editing Jen here. So yeah, I get so into these wear tests that I completely forgot that I didn't introduce swatches. Of course we have to do some swatches. Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and get into those right now, and then we'll go into my final thoughts about the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the first 4 shades. This is Hazelnut, Caramel, Vanilla Creme or Vanilla Cream, and Mocha. And as you can see, they're not swatching very well. Like I mentioned, they are buildable, so I decided with these 4 in particular, I was gonna do a double swatch, just so you could really see them on my arm. But you could see that that Mocha one was definitely really patchy till the second swatch. That's part of that buildableness of these shadows. Now here are the brush swatches, and as you can see, Hazelnut and Caramel really brush swatch absolutely beautifully. And then Vanilla Cream is actually a really nice brush swatch for a shade that's that light. Sometimes those brush swatch really, really badly. Mocha, again, very, very patchy in the brush swatch, but again, it's one of those that's going to be buildable on the eye, and it does build up. And hopefully you saw that in the different demos. So if you're new to the channel, you're new to the wipe test, and some people believe in it, some people don't. I very strongly believe in the wipe test, and what this shows is it shows which shadows are going to stain the skin. Not stain for a long time, but stain. So it gives you an idea of the wear time of the shadows throughout the day. Now, of course, you're not rubbing your eyes like that through the day. That wouldn't make any sense, but through the day, through wind and just and your eyes blinking and all of that, the shadows do wear down, and I find this to be very accurate. So we look at the wipe test, you can see that Hazelnut and Caramel and Mocha definitely are still there, where Vanilla Cream is pretty much completely gone, which is typical for a shade like this, and I found all of this to be very true on the eyes as well. Moving on to the next four, we are going into Pumpkin Spice, Espresso, Macchiato, and Creme Brulee. These foils really are absolutely beautiful, and the Pumpkin Spice actually reminds me a lot of an Anastasia Beverly Hills matte shadow. It's very, very nice, and you can see that even the foiled shades swatch very well with a brush. When I saw Christen Dominique using a brush for the foils, I was very surprised, because typically they're applied with a fingertip when you have a formula like this, but they do apply very well with a brush. So that's great news for people with long fingernails, people with especially oily skin on their fingers. You don't have to worry about putting your fingers into the shadows. You can definitely use a brush and still get an absolutely gorgeous look. You can see the beautiful shimmer and shine on those foiled shadows, and that Pumpkin Spice is just so opaque, both in the finger swatch and the brush swatch. And as we wipe them away, you can see that they all hang out there really well. Macchiato is the one that fades the most. And finally, the last two, the fun two, Cold Brew and Double Shot. I did have to do a little bit of extra color correcting here. That's why it's got a little bit of a tinge of green to it, but I wanted to make sure that these were as accurate as possible to what they look like in real life. And this is very accurate to what they look like in real life. Brush swatch, again, a little bit patchy on Cold Brew and Double Shot both, but again, they're both very buildable, so I am not hating on the fact that they are just a tad bit patchy. Not as patchy as Mocha was, but still a little bit patchy. As we wipe them away, you can just see how much they stain the skin. Of course, these do come off very easily with eye makeup remover, but the lasting power on both of these shadows is very, very good. So now I've shown you the swatches, let's get back to the final thoughts on this palette. So kind of adding on what I was just saying, I think my biggest critique of the Dominique Cosmetics palette is the transfer of the foiled shadows onto my brow bone. And I think that that could be solved just by using a glitter glue. NYX makes a fantastic one if you're looking for one that's less expensive. Too Faced makes a really good one. There's plenty of options for glitter glue. I would definitely recommend that for the foiled shadows. Just these three over here down in the bottom corner. But other than that, the lasting power is fantastic. Blendability is really good. I love that they're buildable. I know that the Profusion went on more pigmented, but I kind of like shadows that are more buildable, and it seems to go along. I don't know much about Christen Dominique, but it seems to go along with her personal style, that it's, you know, she seems to like to layer and build up, so it fits with her, which I really like. As far as the color selection of the palette, I feel like it is quite ordinary. There isn't a whole lot special in it, but these two shades really do kind of bring some fun to the palette, and I'm really glad she included them, because it really opens up the palette for a lot more choices, which I think is great. I'm also glad that she put a lot of mattes in there, because I know there are a lot of people that absolutely love matte shadows, and she's got a nice range of shades here from light, medium, and deep to create some really nice and significant depth on the eye. The foiled shadows is another critique that I have. I wish that these were a little more varied in color and tone and choice. Maybe even a very deep brown brown would have been nice in the shimmer. Maybe doing a colored foiled shade would have been great. I'm calling them shimmers, but they're technically, I think she calls them foiled. But one that was a little more fun like these, maybe in a foiled formula would have been fun. A duochrome. I'm always begging, please brands, give me duochromes. I love duochrome. That would have been really, really wonderful and unique. I feel like these are kind of similar. I don't know. I just kind of, you know, it's like whenever I pick this up, I feel like I could go with one or the other, you know, especially interchanging these two. It's like, to me, I can tell the difference, but to everybody else, they don't look that much different, if you know what I'm saying. So I wish there was a little bit of a different choice there. I think this was a really smart color choice for her first palette. I'm really looking forward to the Lemonade palette to see whether she comes up with something a little more creative, a little bit more fun. I'm not hating on the fact that this is a little more ordinary, a little more typical, just because it is her first palette. So overall, this is going to be a recommend. It's a great quality palette, and it's fun to use. I do enjoy using it, and that's kind of a gut feeling that I get when I use certain eyeshadow palettes, you know, that they give me joy when I use them. I talk about that, you know, a palette gives me joy. This one does give me some joy. It's not the 10 level of joy. It's like maybe like a 7 level of joy, but still it's giving me joy, and I'm very thankful to have this palette. I think that she did a great job. Well done, Christen Dominique. Well done to you. If you own this palette, I would love to know what you think of it down in the comments below. What have your experiences been with it? If you've just seen tutorials, if you've, you know, talked to people about it, what are your thoughts about this palette? What are your thoughts after watching this video? I would love to know about it in the comments down below, because we are the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, helping each other not to buy crap and to invest in things that we think are totally awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I put out a ton of content on this channel, so if you like this style of video, you can look forward to these videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays are my review video days, and then we have makeup news Monday through Friday, and then also a full-length makeup news show on Sundays. Whether you've been here a while or whether you're new to the channel, mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Bye!